Hello, welcome to Uncle Al's Barbecue. Today we are going to be making some chicken enchiladas from my awesome smoked chicken. You remember this bad boy right here, don't you? Sure you do. Alright, well, I shredded up some chicken from the other one. Shredded into little pieces. And what we're going to do here today is the first thing is you got to put just a little bit of oil into a pan. Spread it around, maybe a little more. All right, and we got to make our tortillas pliable, flexible, whatever you want to call it. So the way to do that, and the way I was taught to do this, seen people do this, is you will put them in the oil in a pan, right like that. And the pan doesn't really have to be really hot, just a little bit warm. And you put a little bit of oil in there. Then you want to drain the oil off. Okay, drain it off the edge of the pan. And what I do is I roll my enchilada up right in my little pan that I'm going to do. So we go ahead and stuff it with a little bit of chicken. It doesn't take very much, see? It doesn't take very much in these little tortillas. Some people will use flour, some people will use yellow corn or bigger tortillas. I like to make this one real small. So then you're just going to roll it right on up. And that's how you make it, just like that. Now sometimes they'll be a little bit frail and they may crack or something like that, but we're not worried about that too much. We just want to get the chicken into the tortilla and roll it up, and it really doesn't take that much. Okay, so we just roll it on up. Roll it on up next to the next one and just stick it right there. Repeat process. Rub a little bit of oil on there, a little bit of oil on there, and that's the magic to make it flexible. So let me go ahead and roll up a couple more here. And basically right now, I'm just making these chicken enchiladas for myself. I got the house to myself today. My wife's at work. So I get to sit here and goof off and make my own meal. So this one here, at the end, you're gonna have to still roll it up. Well, just flip it over itself in the other direction. And there you go. And I can do one more. Let's make 5. We'll make 5. Normally I'll make 4. That's what I eat is 4. You order it from a restaurant. It's normally 4. And we will just set this bad boy down right in here. Stuff a little bit more of that shredded chicken from that smoker. That's right. Whole smoked chicken enchilada. Now, my tray is done for my enchiladas. So, the next thing we have to do is we got to make a roux. We got to make a roux. So how do we do that? Well, we get a little bit of butter, flip it into the pan, and then we will add some flour to the melted butter. Yeah, it don't matter if you left the oil in there. That's okay, because most of the oil went into the tortilla. So, at this particular time, I'll go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. And get out Mr. Flour bag here. Mr. Butter is melting down. As you can see that. Alright. So, now that the butter's melted down, it's time to make your roux. So I just go ahead and get me a spoonful of flour here and dump it in here. And that probably should be enough. And all you got to do to make your roux is spin it around and the flour will absorb all the butter. So, might even need to put in a little more butter than that. Basically, you're kind of making a gravy, is what you're doing. So, want to make sure it soaks up all that butter. If you need to add more, no big deal. Just add more butter. Alright? And let it melt around there. Okay? You know, these cooking recipes or whatever, you ever watch some of them painting things? I really enjoy watching Bob Ross's. You're just incorporating ingredients together, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can sit here and flood the pan with butter and adjust your flour to it, or you can do like what I'm doing. I'm adjusting the butter to the flour. In the end, it comes out to be the same thing, doesn't it? Whether you adjust the flour to the butter or whether you adjust the butter to the flour, it does not matter. And what you're looking here for is just basically, it's kind of like a doughy paste type thing. It's the texture on the roux. And there we go. There's the roux. It's kind of like almost like a pastry. Okay, so now what we will do is I will put this on a little bit higher than a medium. And here's where some work comes in. I am going to use chicken broth. That seems to work with chicken enchiladas. You could use vegetable broth, I suppose. You might even want to use bone broth. You can use whatever you like the flavor of, but as a traditional sauce here, a lot of people use a pot, small pot or something to do it. You don't have to do any of that. Okay? I've got to do none of that. Alright, well, can't find my whisk. Now, the whisk would have made it a lot easier than doing it with the spoon, but I'm going to do it with the spoon. And you are just going to continue to just mix the roux to where it breaks down, breaks down, breaks down, breaks down, all around. And this is going to end up being like, basically kind of like a soup. See that? Alright. It's going to be a soup. Now, how thick do you want your white cream sauce on your enchilada? That's another question you have to ask yourself. How thick do you want it? I kind of like mine like a gravy. Just like, you know, biscuits and gravy, chicken fried steaks with the gravy on there. Alright, so I will just mix this all around. Yeah, we're going to make a mess again. That's alright, I'll clean it. There isn't nobody here to yell at me today about the big old mess, so I can do it myself. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there we go. Basically, that's it. Kind of like a soup. Alright, so that's where she is right there. Alrighty, so got that part done. All I need to do now is dump in your crema. Hey man, if you're gonna cook chicken enchiladas, my opinion is use what the Mexican folk use. I mean, it's their recipe, right? So I'll just dump in a little bit of this crema here. And now we are looking to mix and incorporate this into the sauce. Now I'll turn the heat down. I'll turn the heat down to about a medium low. And this is where the magic happens. Right here. Right here. Alrighty, alrighty. Now for some reason, the TV turned on. I don't know if there's a timer on that thing or what. So we'll let this simmer down here. Let me turn off this TV so you can hear what I'm telling you. And I want you to feel like you're in the kitchen with me. You're right here with me watching me do this. Let's mix it all up. Mix it all up. Alrighty. And this is pretty much that old flies chasing that barbecue from yesterday. Look at him. Alright, so that is pretty much the texture and the color that you want. Let's do a little taste test here. Yeah, there we go. I'll put in a little more creamer. That's alright. And yeah, that's pretty much the texture there that I was after. Pretty much the flavor I'm after now. On Uncle Al's, he always tells you that you need to taste it and test it yourself. So let me show you that pan. See that? It's kind of like a gravy. Kind of like a gravy. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is turn the heat up a little bit. And I will add a little bit of pepper because I like the pepper in mine. Just a little bit. A lot of people don't do that, but I do. And I will put in a little salt in there. A lot of people do not do what I just did for chicken enchiladas. They're like, I can't believe you just put pepper in your white sauce. Well, this is my recipe, and you don't have to do it, but I'm doing it. And we're going to incorporate that pepper in there because it's going to give it a little bit of flavor. But you never thought of that, did you? Did you? Did you? Did you think to put pepper or salt and pepper in your sour cream sauce? I bet you didn't. Let's give that a taste. Oh yeah. Woo! Oh yeah, that's it right there. That is it right there. So, let me bring that up, the heat up to reduce some of it. Now, what a lot of people will do is they would put the sauce at the bottom of the pan when they cook their enchiladas. I don't see any need to do that because I kind of want a texture at the bottom when it cooks that, you know, there'll be a little crunch to it at the bottom. And we'll just put the sauce over the top and let it cook at 350 for about 20 minutes. And then at the very end, for about maybe 10 minutes, I'll add my cheese and sprinkle that on top. And be like a little casserole type thing. So let's move some of this stuff out the way here. So I can get my pan closer to my sauce. And I will show you what it looks like after you stir it in. So yeah, now we're getting kind of a gravy texture here now. All right, I got the flavor I'm after. That might be a piece there from the chicken. It is. Huh. There you go. All right. Now I use my pan, same pan that I used for the tortilla. All right, so you're just gonna dump it in there. All right, you don't have to dump it all. You could. I mean, you could dump it in there, but you just want to cover it. And all right, so that's enough sauce for me. A lot of people will bury them down in there. Well, you can add the sauce again later, but for right now, there we go. See that? Chicken enchilada. Let's put it in the oven. Turn this off, turn that off. 350 degrees. What time is it? It's 5:15. I'll come back here at 5:35 and we'll give her a look and put some cheese on there. Okay, we've had them in there. And there we are. See that? So they're cooking up. And the tortilla is getting stiff. And now I will add some cheese on top. Now, this again is up to you how you want to do this. Everybody has their own way of doing stuff. And I decided I'm going to put in a little bit more of this sauce. I mean, that sauce turned out really, really good. So I'm just going to put some more on it, on the edge here, and it'll dissipate while it goes over. Now, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these back in the oven, and I'm going to put it on broil at 450, and that will melt the cheese. And we want to get a little brownish edge. Is that what you want today? Because, to be honest with you, I've never eaten at a Mexican restaurant or whatever where the enchiladas are brown. They're white. So anyway, we'll put that there on the broil, and we'll let that roll for 5 to 10 minutes. And you need to check on them on this stage. If you want it brown, cook it longer. If you don't want it brown, don't cook it longer, you know. So I would say put it in there 5 minutes and check on it. Alrighty. Yep, I had to do this by myself. Alrighty. We just pulled them out of the oven. Look at that. Is that a better way? There we go. There we go. So, got the cheese a little bit light brown. Sauce on the side. So, let's see. Why don't we dig on in here and just take a couple out. Put it on the plate. Come on, get over there. Put you on the plate. Ooh, gooey, chewy, gooey. Alrighty. Slide you over. So you can see that. You can see that. Put you back in here. Okay. There's chicken enchilada right there. Hot. What I like to do is add a little bit of the verde. You don't have to do this step. Most people right here will eat it the way it is. Most of the restaurants will serve this Tex-Mex style with jalapeno on top. I just put me a little sauce on there, straight on across. And that's pretty much Uncle Al's chicken enchilada. There she is. Ooh, hot. I'm trying to see if I can take a little bite of this corn here. And this chicken is out of that smoked chicken I made yesterday on the smoker. Let's scoop us up a little bite. See where we're at. Okay, well, this is a unique chicken enchilada. Yep, everything's cooked. It's good. The sauce turned out. I mean, shoot, this is pretty much what you get at any Tex-Mex place that I normally would eat at. So, the chicken, though, you can taste that smoked chicken flavor in a chicken enchilada. So, if you never had a smoked chicken enchilada, next time you smoke your chicken, shred some of the thigh, the breast, just shred some of that off, and follow my recipe. And that's how easy it really is. Right there, nothing to it. So, thank you once again for watching Uncle Al's Barbecue. I'll give you one more shot of that. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me by myself doing this stuff, but there she is. It's good, I'm telling you. It's just as good as any other restaurant I went. The only thing missing is some rice and beans on this whole plate. Woo, let me take one more bite. Man. That smoked chicken just takes it to a different dimension, man. This is unique. So, thank you, and go ahead and hit that sub button. I know you can do it.